team. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and our home team. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. December's here, so will that elusive first win be under the tree? At 0-13, they need one.
Priority one, win the game. The second part, though, ensure that you've got a chance to play for this team next year. This team may undergo a lot of changes before the next season.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a man who rewrote Brett Favre's passing records at Southern Miss. It's Nick Mullins.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Well, look now at the starters defensively for the Broncos. This unit, very tough to throw against, currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And this unit knows exactly where they rank. They're number 2 against the pass in the NFL. You know they have their sights set on being number 1, looking for a big game today.
They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You better be ready next time.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10.
27-yard line. Ready? 50 seconds to Mike. You don't know no better.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, touchdown number 18 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. A partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people shied away from taking a runner early. But if there's that special one there, I say they go get it.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Next to receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Hey, pick your game up. Look. Alert 3.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. It takes 2 to tango. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Elliott. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. A look there at how the Raiders will start defensively. This crew against the pass, issues at times. Ranked number 24, Charles, in the NFL.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league.
Watch time, watch time.
2nd and 5. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll go down as a loss of 8. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
How did he do that? How did he do it? I mean, in this type of weather, it's not just catching it. It's seeing it coming towards it. Maybe that's why he ended up having to go one-handed. But, boy, what a catch.
That was a spectacular one-handed grab. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there at 22. This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A very solid gain of 27. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
They're going to look to throw. That one complete to Elliott. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense, and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm just talking about use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody come. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 14 carries, 96 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes a leading rusher.
Taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Broncos push further out in front. Well, that turned out how they wanted. Run the toss play to the left side, go for that pylon, get in there.
And just being able to understand where the pylon was and sneak it in there, well done, well executed.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now 14-0. A 10-play drive that time. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Portland football here ready to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. 2nd and 4. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And a dump off to White. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let him know.
First down, here's White. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down now, it's White. And the play goes nowhere, losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Got his man. It's Eifert. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, Let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. But anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go, again.
They'll set up a throw. Open man is Ross, complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 5. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Let's go,
The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and in throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And out will come the offense as they take over. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to Carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A huge play there on the screen pass. 54 yards.
So how many more years are we going to define this position as running back? I really feel like we're evolving into something else because they have to be such a hybrid, don't they? Guys who can run it, but they love to have those guys with hands like a wide receiver.
Now a play fake here on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Broncos push further out in front. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Zerline good with a PAT. And the route is on here in this first half. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And now a fair catch called for, and he'll indeed take it at about the 6-yard line. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, this team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through. I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So with a yardage on that completion, he's now right at exactly 300 yards on the game.
And isn't that the magic number you get, right? 300. That means it's going to go on a commemorative football to put on your mantle when they give you the game ball if your team wins. So much confidence flowing through him right now, throwing the football. I think it's permeating.
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. The 20, 10, and finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. A big run that time by Elliott, 73 yards. So all the way down close to the goal line. Good blocking up front. Helped to spring him.
When this drive is over, he's got to get to the bench and sing Kumbaya with the offensive line, doesn't he? Big-time openings for him. Gets him all the way down to the 2-yard line. Let's see if they can pound it in.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, The way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
He'll look to throw. And he's got his target. That's more. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. Third down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
They'll look to throw here. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. But now it's third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a fifth, barring a conversion here on third down. They'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Open man is Uzama. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory. Down at the 33. He'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Here's a 2nd and 7. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll drop the throw. Got a man open. It's Ross. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Back to throw here. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. This one good for a first down, and also that is catch number 90 for him now on the season. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that had far too much air under it. It's out of the back of the end zone. And the football will come out to the 20-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Raekwon McMillan has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. 2nd and 10. And he's got the hook up to Moore. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. A big run that time by Elliott. 61 yards that time on the ground.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And that will go out of the back of the end zone. Way too much mustard. Not a good punt, and it will come out to the 20. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. 2nd and 9 now. His throw incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And Denver getting set to take the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe... Yeah, you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
57's the mic. Watch 57.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to air one out. It's caught inside the 25. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 65 yards.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. He'll look to throw. It's caught. This is White. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Out of the gun now on third down. Finding Gabriel complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
60 Pittsburgh.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll set up to throw. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Back to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now back to throw, and it's knocked away and incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we draw up. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
A gain of 3, second down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Again, it's Elliott. Gets past one man. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Broncos, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they'll get it.
Yeah. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off. Each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop. Don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. True. Head on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got your own. Right pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Hey, door, calm down. Hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m. Check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess on my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the errands need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a mansion. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass. All my girls, they love.